So Pisanki eggs is a wax-resistant dyed eggs that were used as talismans for centuries before Christianity came to the Ukraine. The legend was that an evil monster was chained to a mountain, and each spring he sent his minions out to the world. Each spring he sent his minions out to the world to see how many Pisanki eggs had been made. If the numbers were high enough, his chains would be tightened and he would remain in the little dungeon area. If the eggs were low, his chains would be loosened and he would be allowed to roam the earth, wreaking havoc and destruction. This is why we call Pisanki eggs riding Pisanki, tightening the chains. When Christianity came along, the traditional meanings and symbols were given a Christian theme instead of a pagan theme. Dyes were made from plants, roots, and barks. Each family had their own secret dye recipe and their own patterns. Pisanki eggs were written each spring and were used to ensure fertility in crops, people, and animals. They would be put into barns and stables and in beehives. In Christian times, baskets of Pisanki eggs were blessed by the priests and given as gifts, with a few kept as powerful protections. The art of Pisanki was almost lost to history because it was outlawed when Ukraine was taken over by another country. Ukrainian immigrants to Canada and America kept the tradition alive. Today, the modern Pisanki eggs that we now create are elevated to art form. Its acid-dyed colors are used in egg rain, from huge ostrich eggs down to tiny zebra eggs. Eggs are now emptied and varnished instead of being rubbed down with lard and left whole, and there are even electric Pisanki eggs. Alright, the supplies we're using today will be eggs, and we're using the chicken eggs because it's the most common egg used for Pisanki. Farm eggs that have not been sanitized through the commercial cleaning process are the best. Other eggs can be used, but some, such as the ostrich eggs, require wet sanding and much preparation. Others, such as quail eggs, are very fragile and require very light touch. Eggs traditionally were left whole because they had magical properties, but emptied eggs are easy to work with and they won't explode on you. So, we've already washed your eggs and prepared them, but typically you would wash them with warm water and dish soap. You would use a soft sponge to scrub away any dirt and just yuckiness on it. And then you would rinse it, pat dry, look for the eggs with no cracks, no bumps, no blemishes, and that's what you have. Already prepared it. We're not going to do the part where we poke a hole in it, instead we're going to varnish it at the very end instead of emptying the egg. So the second step, we've already prepared it, but normally you would need a pencil where you would draw your design. So we've already drawn a little outlay so you can see what you want to put, when you want to put it, but normally you would need a pencil and write what you would like. Then you need dyes. We have yellow, red, and black dyes, and these dyes are acid dyes used to make Pisanki, and they're not edible. Once you dye them, you cannot eat these eggs. They're not like regular Easter eggs. These dyes are made with boiling water and vinegar, and then you would just follow the instructions for the dye and use the vinegar and all that. Next is the wax, which is, everybody has the black star wrapped in paper, wrapped in this little plastic bag.